You know exactly what you should do. Open the app, look at the number. But your thumb hovers, and you swipe it closed. You'll check later. Or a bill arrives, and you slide it under a book. The account becomes a room with the door kept firmly shut. You might tell yourself you're being lazy, or that you're simply bad with money. These labels are inaccurate. If you actually felt careless, the unopened app wouldn't feel like such a heavy, nagging weight in your pocket. We categorize this avoidance as a character flaw, but the brain sees it as a survival strategy. It is a highly effective way to find immediate relief from a perceived threat. Researchers Dan Galai and Orly Sade named this the ostrich effect. When we expect bad news, the brain calculates that remaining ignorant is the lesser pain. It steers us away from the screen to keep us safe. An unknown balance still holds a tiny bit of hope. Maybe everything is fine. The moment you look, that hope risks being replaced by a hard mathematical fact. Your brain wants to protect you from that transition. It treats a digital display of numbers like a physical danger, triggering a reflex to look away and keep the safe zone intact. This graph illustrates negative reinforcement. Watch your stress levels. The line spikes, but the moment you decide not to look, anxiety plummets. That drop is a reward, training you to repeat this loop, turning delay into a hardwired habit. We often tie money directly to our self-worth. This transforms the bank balance from a simple calculation into a heavy verdict on our success, intelligence, or maturity. Opening the app feels less like checking a ledger and more like stepping onto a scale that judges your entire life. Your brain steers you away from that judgment to protect your ego. Humans generally prefer the discomfort of an ambiguous situation over the finality of bad news. As long as you don't look, you don't have to face the certainty of a number you don't like. These defenses are an attempt to keep hope alive by keeping the truth in the dark. Your mind chooses the mystery because the mystery still feels potentially safe. Psychologist Martin Seligman identified a deeper block called learned helplessness. If you have looked at a bad balance in the past and felt unable to change it, your brain records the action as pointless. When we believe our actions won't change the outcome, we stop acting entirely. In this state, avoidance feels like the only logical response to a problem you feel you can't solve. Researchers Sandel Malinathan and Eldar Shafir discovered that money stress actually consumes your cognitive capacity. They describe this as a drain on your mental RAM. The background worry about finances eats up the bandwidth you need for focus, planning, and self-control. This creates a physical irony. The more stressed you are about money, the less biological computing power your brain has available to face the task of checking your account. This hesitation is a physical symptom of a mind currently over-leveraged by stress. It is a sign that your cognitive resources are temporarily depleted. While the brain thinks it is helping, avoidance turns minor errors into major crises. Small problems grow when they are left in the dark. A forgotten streaming subscription or a single missed utility bill is cheap to fix early. They become expensive mountains once ignored for a month. You trade the 10-second sting of looking for a persistent background dread. The relief of not looking lasts for an hour, but the low-grade worry stays with you all week. Operating without numbers makes every financial choice a blind guess. This uncertainty leads to a volatile cycle of overspending, followed by intense, unsustainable restriction. Every time you glance away, you quietly reinforce the belief that you aren't capable of handling your finances. This erodes your confidence, making the next check-in even harder. Your brain believes it is keeping you safe from pain. In reality, it is trading a momentary discomfort for weeks of persistent, draining anxiety. Breaking this cycle requires making the act of looking feel small, safe, and boring. First, separate the feeling from the fact. State clearly that the balance is a piece of data, not a character judgment. It is information you can use, not a verdict on your life. Next, shrink the task. You aren't going to fix everything or build a budget yet. You are going to open the app for exactly 10 seconds, look at the number, and close it. The rule is strictly, look, don't fix. Pair this look with a positive ritual. Check your account while sitting in a favorite chair with a fresh cup of coffee. This simple pairing signals safety to your entire nervous system, turning a dreaded task into a calm, repeating routine. Over time, automation can reduce the number of surprises waiting in your account. The fewer shocks you expect, the easier the ritual of looking becomes. The dread of the unknown often outweighs the reality of the math. You are allowed to look gently. The reality of the numbers is often much more manageable than the scenarios we invent while we're hiding.